intrepid expedition, our very successful expedition. You gathered your canoes from the river after fighting at the Firefinger Beacon, and then headed east to the abandoned city of Mesro. There you met one artist Simber, a harper of considerable legend who carried a evil artifact of some kind that Darkassan had been requested to kind of bring back to civilization if possible. Artist claimed, after some considerable persuasion rolls, that the city of Mesro was not ruined as it would appear, but in fact had transported itself to another plane of existence, and he was waiting there to be reunited with a lost love. And that's why he hung out in the jungles of Chult, because he's just waiting. He also hung out with a mute lizard creature that you all identified eventually as a Sorial, one of the oldest races of Faerun, who claimed to be a paladin of Tyr, the god of justice, and he wasn't able to directly communicate, but he's able to write on notepad. It appeared he mostly communicated through sense. His name was Dragonbait. He hung out with them and found out the Red Wizards are also looking for the Soulmonger. And your plan from here was to head southeast to the Tabriz River? No, the river Olung, and then head south through the Ataz Muhaha, which is a canyon, to journey towards Kir Sabal, a monastery of the Aarakocra. You have essentially one last chance, at least for now, to depart, to ask Artis or Dragonbait anything before you depart in the morning. No is a perfectly acceptable answer. I just wanted to give the opportunity. Alrighty, good. So
I think I'm gonna go ahead, and if we're just gonna bail out on the guys, I'm gonna give the courteous farewells to both Artis and Dragonbait.
That seemed to be the plan. I think you guys decided not to kidnap him.
Right. I'd like to shake his hand and wish him luck on his journey through life.
If I hear anything else, I will try to send word to you regarding the Soulmonger. Perhaps our paths shall cross again.
Perhaps. I'd like to jack that ring.
Well, he's not wearing it.
What do you mean he's not wearing it?
It's not
I
on
thought
his
he was
finger.
Immortal.
He is. He doesn't have to wear it for that. Just has to carry it.
Oh, that's bullshit. Well, if it's possible, I'd like to jack it.
Wait. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, yeah, go ahead. He's wearing it. You can try.
I would like to do so.
With a sleight of hand roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that inspiration we got from.
Well, you don't have to decide to use inspiration until after you roll handily.
All right.
That's one of the ways it's quite good.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
Wow, I sneezed so loud you could hear it through Lucas's microphone. I was like, I'll mute myself. Wait, how am I hearing myself?
I can go to push to talk if that's going to be obnoxious, or shut my door.
I mean, I don't think I will shout that. Who can say?
I don't know if it's possible to remove a sentient art. I'm assuming it's sentient if it's an artifact.
Yeah, I'm double checking that detail real quick. I mean, I think it's certainly possible.
I don't know, if the artifact would probably get a roll too.
Yeah.
If that's any.
I mean, it's gonna notice if it's been stolen.
That's what I mean. Whether it does anything is an entirely different story.
Indeed. Here we go. This is what I did. Oh, what have you done? Let's see. Okay. You begin to slip it off of his finger without him noticing, as you shake his hand to wish him well. As you do, you feel presence within the item. Presence that's kind of spreading into your hand. It feels cold and black and eternal. You will make a charisma saving throw.
Yep. Yep. I'm gonna use my inspiration on that one, though.
That seems like a good time to use inspiration.
How do you use inspiration in this
You can just roll again, and then I'll...
Alright, cool. Fucking artifacts, man. A little better. Probably not good enough.
Mm-mm. Okay. Let's see. Could everyone except for Lucas head to the side room for a moment?
Side room? Oh.
Actually, wait. It makes more sense for us just... Yeah, sorry, on Discord there's a side voice
I
chat
just
room
now noticed
when
that.
Yeah.
Alright, to the side room. Now, how badly did he screw up?
I have no idea.
Okay, come back. So Darkhanson is shaking Artis Simmer's hand, and then his hand comes away, and you can see that he's holding in it, like kind of open palmed, and he's looking down at it, a ring. Here, in fact, I believe I even have art. The ring, it looks like a gold ring, but it does have like a layer of frost upon it. Maybe brass or gold.
Is there any scrawlings on it through the frost?
You can't quite make them out, but you can see that they're there.
Darkasson will put the ring in 3 fingers and hold it above Artis's hand again.
Artis looks deeply concerned. You don't see it, but it only takes a moment for a dagger to appear. You don't see him draw it, but a dagger just appears instantly in his hand, as if it had been there the entire time.
He'll kind of push the ring towards Artis and raise an eyebrow.
Artis will
Here you go.
Take the ring back immediately, flipping it back onto his finger.
Your little buddy wanted me to kill you.
Of that, I have no doubt. I've
He'll look over
trials for a great many of years, and I shall continue to do so. That was a very unwise thing that you did, Darkasson.
Hey, I was sent to retrieve that ring. Apparently, it didn't want to leave you, but it did want to kill you. Perhaps you should reconsider... Sorry, go ahead.
It thrives on putting its bearer into positions which will end in his death.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, sweetheart, you're already dead. And the fact that you have this ring puts a great many other people's lives in peril. So
I am protecting others, not imperiling them.
This says you or says the ring? Are you even sure anymore?
Brow furrows. I think that you should go now.
Darkasson will look over at the Paladin of Tyr. So what about you, holy man? What does your god of justice think about this evil little thing and what you're doing with your life? You were both once Harpers, now you're nothing. You're 2 weirdos sitting in a jungle waiting for a day that'll never come. Good as dead. Waiting for some tyrant or another to come pluck that fucking ring from your hand.
You smell a mixture of baked bread, of ham fresh from the oven, and of tender honeysuckle. They kind of mingle together like the scent of a strange sandwich lingering in the room. And Dragonbait eyes you otherwise silently, though he has not drawn his weapon.
Darkasson will nod and say, my thoughts exactly, Dragonbait.
He puts a hand on Artis's shoulder. Artis kind of looks back at him, and the comforting scent of wood smoke emanates from Dragonbait, like a campfire that you're sitting near.
Can I offer you a bit of advice before we go? From one widower to another?
I am no widow, but I will accept your advice. I will at least hear it, says Artis. Clearly, he has become very displeased with Darkasson at this point.
Don't waste your whole life waiting in grief. Think about what your lost love would have wanted you to do instead of what you're doing currently. And understand that this ring is not your friend. and it's not going to help you achieve your goal.
Do you make a persuasion check with that, just for?
Oh, sure, with my 0 bonus.
Oh, hey, just kind of as a that seems about right.
There you go.
The argument appears to be average, sir.
Perfectly average.
It's not. It was not so awful as to call it mundane, but it certainly didn't qualify as a good argument either.
Just an argument.
I understand. It is something I ask of myself quite often. Thank you for your advice. Now I would ask that you please depart and leave us in peace.
Let's spit on his heels and walk off.
Balasar kind of looks after Darkast and rolls his eyes, shakes his head, and turns and bows to our two friends. Till we meet again.
Artist nods, kind of some of his displeasure for Darkast and clearly falling into you, but not him giving into that entirely. Still trying to show you a little bit of courtesy. The Dragon Maid just bows back entirely. Fennec departs as well.
Yeah, Fennec kind of gathers up his things, not entirely sure what just happened between everybody. And just kind of like bows, like, take care, and falls off with everyone else.
All right. As you exit the building, you find yourself once more in the ruins of what is claimed to be Mesro. Though if Artus's tale is to believe, it is only a facsimile of destruction. Are you all proceeding directly towards the river, picking up your canoes and heading out? Or is there anything you want to accomplish in this town? In what was once this town?
We already checked all the ruins, right, when we first arrived.
I mean, you can tell this place has been thoroughly ransacked.
Right. Probably by the 2 squatters that are holed up in that one place.
Oh, it seems like it's been more thorough ransacking than that.
All right.
Like, clearly over the years, this place has been raided again and again, as it's relatively accessible.
I don't have anything. Do you guys?
Cool.
We'll just carry on our way, I think.
It's eerily quiet as you head down the flooded streets that are more like canals than roadways. Eventually, you reach the edge of it. You can see kind of in the estuary of the river to the northeast as you're putting your boats down on the river's edge. You see a ship, clearly from Faerun proper, with large white sails emblazoned upon it. Is the symbol of a gauntlet upright in the shape of a fist with a ball of fire flaming around the curled fingers.
Darkcastle will roll his eyes immediately upon spotting that.
Should I recognize that symbol?
Belisar might not. Roll history.
He's good at this, at least.
Did Fennec roll as well?
I think Fennec is likely to recognize it.
Okay.
Belisar's not from the area of Baldur's Gate, so.
Nope.
Fennec and Darkcast are able to recognize it as the symbol of the Flaming Fist mercenaries, who are basically, well, they used to be mercenaries. Now they're
still mercenaries.
I guess technically they're a private police force,
Right?
employed by Baldur's Gate. They basically run Baldur's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
which is where this adventure started.
So I may have seen it, I just couldn't necessarily place it.
Yeah,
Certainly don't know what it is.
some mercenary group, probably. I'll give you that at least. All right. So are you just going to hop in your canoes and head down the river from there?
I think that's the plan.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to change up the plan.
Cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Time for me to roll some random encounter. Now you're just traveling down a river, so you're not gonna get lost immediately.
If anybody could get lost on a river, it would be Balasar.
I mean, it's possible. Who's making all that noise? Goodness gracious.
Lucas.
Oh. Okay, he muted it right now. It's you heard him, I'm sure.
If he puts himself on push to talk, then he doesn't have to worry about it. But then he has to remember to push the button every time he wants to talk.
It wasn't working.
That is Sophie's choice, isn't it?
I think it's a little lower stakes than that, but
Not when it comes to D&D, motherfucker.
oh, interesting.
Do we spot any mercenaries milling about?
Well, for that, as you're preparing your canoes to make your way onto the river, you see that there is a small building here that clearly was once some sort of building pertaining to the trade on the river from Mesro, like a cottage of a fisherman or a small boathouse, that sort of thing. And let's see, as Balasar kind of glances towards it, and he gets an uneasy feeling. The scales on the back of his neck kind of agitating themselves slightly. And,
Sorry, I was placing an order real quick. What did I miss?
you guys, there's a boathouse nearby where you guys are pushing off into the river, like a ruined boathouse.
Mm.
And when Balasar kind of glances towards it, the scales on the back of his neck become agitated for a moment. He gets an uneasy feeling, and then he sees two like softly glowing silver eyes inside, and a spectral creature comes rushing out, humanoid, vaguely purple in color except for the silver glowing eyes, and kind of in the shape of a wearing an outfit similar to what Fennec is wearing.
Huh?
Just kind of armor and backpack and equipment.
But spectral looking.
Absolutely. We're not, it's just one enemy, so we're not going to bother with a map here.
Sam, I can already tell you right off the bat, my first reaction is Channel Divinity.
Well, you're first. By random
Holy
chance.
shit.
So
Oh, there we go.
that could resolve this issue immediately. So it makes a wisdom saving throw, yes? Yes.
Yeah. DC equals my cleric's spell save DC.
Which I believe is still 13, 12, 13. You don't have any spells.
Wait, okay. As an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer and censoring the dead. Let's see. Each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw. Yeah, so they just make a wisdom save, and the DC...
It's 8 plus your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus, so it's 12.
That makes sense.
It rolled a 9. Which is less than 12, in which case
I
it has
actually
been
did
turned.
something right for once.
Wow, so just immediately Balasar turns and raises his holy symbol, which is what, on your shield? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
on a
symbol
shield.
of Bahamut on his shield glows with powerful silver light. The specter raises his hand to its eyes and then immediately flees back towards the boathouse to hide in the darkness once more.
And then falls off a 160-foot cliff.
I mean, it runs away for 10 minutes, so we're kind of out of combat at this point.
I'm not going
if you
after
want
it.
to chase it down, you can, or you could just get in your canoes and go away.
I'm deferring to the cleric that just did some shit.
Like, as it's charging us, he just spins his shield out in front of him, cries out to Bahamut, roars at it, it turns and flees, and he just throws the shield back over his shoulder and just continues on pulling the boat into the water.
All right.
He's got no time for that.
Quashta says quietly, I would prefer we put that fiend to rest. He smiles a little. It would be a pity if you paid full price for today.
Oh, you motherfucker.
He's not really like straight up blackmailing you. He's kind of joking a little bit, but like.
But also, he'd probably do it. Actually, can I insight him? Will he actually do it?
So insight.
Balasar's reaction to this.
You're not sure.
Balasar's reaction to this is palpable. He stops, and you can just kind of see some tension form in his shoulders for a moment. Drops the canoe, slides his shield back over his arm, and pulls his hammer out of his belt loop. Let's go.
Is anybody not attending this effort? Very well. We'll just keep in initiative then. It makes sense. Enough sense. Although it's actually several rounds later. You kind of get up to the boathouse and you can see inside that you can still see the specter just kind of, well, I guess it's not like pressed against the wall. It's like trying to press against the wall in the corner. But its like hand keeps going through it. It's very frustrated because it wants to like cower. It turns as it sees you, and its eyes go wide with panic. It opens its mouth, but it's not actually making any sound. At least not on this plane of existence. I think. Yeah, Quash will just kind of hang back for the moment and throw a little ball of flame at it. It goes wide, hitting the stone wall of the boathouse instead. A little bit of mold is evaporated quickly. Fennec?
Fennec will kind of draw out his sword and shield. Like, oh, we did have a deal with you, and kind of move or walk off towards the fleeing specter. Can I get in range of it this turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of truncated like walking back up to the boathouse. So
okay.
yeah, you're like outside. You're able to get inside and get up to it.
Then I will take a swing at it with my sword.
That is a hit. Your sword has difficulty finding purchase within the spectral creature. You still clearly hurt it, but it didn't do nearly as much damage as it might have against some sort of corporeal living creature.
Okay. That's my turn.
Its eyes shift from fear to rage instantly after Fennec strikes it.
How do we? I mean, it doesn't have a. And I'll shoot at it.
I mean, Fennec clearly just hurt it with his sword. It just kind of,
Shrugged it off a little.
yeah.
I'm keeping my distance from it because I'm really not sure that.
You want to tangle with this thing?
Yeah.
Its silver eyes flaring with rage as the arrow just passes straight through it. No dealing no damage. Its spectral hand reaches out towards Fennec, grasping
No.
around the heart inside of his chest. He can feel the cold chill of death brushing against his life for a moment. Oh no. You took 9 damage, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, your hit point maximum is reduced by 9 until you finish a long rest.
Ah, crap.
Oh, fuck. Fuck.
I'm making a note of your actual max HP, and then I am adjusting it down to what it is now.
Fuck. No. Ah!
Azaka dashes forward to try to hit it with her scimitar.
Ugh.
He hits it twice, but again, it seems to resist the worst effects of the damage. Bran will do something.
That's some holy water, I think.
See?
I think.
I don't see any holy water.
I think he made a point of getting holy water.
Nope, I don't see any. Maybe.
Did we just talk about it
He
and
just
then not
talked
get
about it
any?
and then decided not to because it was more expensive than he thought.
Oh.
I think this is his best option, so I'm going to do it. Also because I find the idea hilarious. Oh, dang, it saved. Bran tells it a joke. It doesn't laugh.
Wow.
It's worth a try. And yeah, I guess that's his turn.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean
It's
to do
okay.
that.
It's all good. Sure, Weed will throw a sling bullet at it. Why not? Oh, it misses wildly. Weed's totally freaked out by this ghost thing. All right, next turn, Belisar.
Balasar now having a bit more concern after watching it curse my ally. Draws his hammer up for a large swing, and while he is swinging it, it begins to glow with magic.
Ooh.
Magic weapon is a bonus action to cast, by the way.
Heck yeah, it is. Wait, before you do it, hold on. There's a thing. Before you make your attack. Here. You cast on your own weapon, right?
Yes.
So, okay, now you're good to go. It'll automatically apply the effects and make it magic damage as well, so it'll bypass the resistance in the program.
That's awesome.
And I'll add the +1 attack and damage as well automatically, so you can just make your attack as normal now. If it's easier for y'all, I can also put a token on the. There, I put a token on the Chult map too. If you would rather roll on the token than in the combat tracker.
Yeah, it's just as well on the combat tracker.
Now that the weapon has been enchanted with the might of Bahamut, it strikes the specter as if it were a solid creature, collapsing one side of its like chest in as Belisar's hammer collides into it. Anything else? You good?
That's it for me.
Cool.
Son of a bitch.
I guess Kwasha will throw more fire at it. Why not? Can't seem to hit, though. Fennec.
Yeah, Fennec's gonna take another swing at the thing. Woo! Double woo.
That's going to finish it off.
Sweet.
Feel free to describe Fennec finishing it.
Okay. So I think after kind of recoiling from the feeling of having his life drained out of him, literally, he kind of recoils and like, your hands to yourself, and takes another swing at it, and with more vigor.
This time, despite the creature's incorporeal nature, it kind of just dissipates and shatters as Fennec longsword pushes down through its entire, vertically bisecting it, and just kind of falls apart into purplish mist that then dissipates.
I don't like those things.
What's that?
Spectre, says Kwasha. The spirit of someone who died in despair or anger. Their bodies should be nearby.
Okay, we'll search for a body then.
Sweet. Someone should make a survival check, possibly with someone assisting them.
I'm proficient in survival.
Do it, Fennec.
I'll assist.
Sweet. There you go. You, in one corner of the boathouse, kind of underneath a... One sec. Underneath like a long decayed longboat. You find the body of what was clearly sometime in the last year someone exploring this area. Probably a Flaming Fist mercenary, judging by the tabard, who went into this area and then appeared to have died because of a frog. There's like a cut open, like a normal sized frog, brightly colored, a mixture of bright blue and black splotches coloring its hide. It's kind of sitting on its chest, all dried up, and it the frog is cut open, and you can see like its short sword has like the guy's short sword had like skewered the frog, but whatever happened, it was too late.
Okay. Well, found the body over here.
Belisar, with Kwasha's aid, will bury the guy and give them last rites, unless anyone has any complaints.
Let's pat him down first and see if we can find out who he was or if he had any valuables.
You are able to find one thing. Most of his equipment is decayed, but one thing made of metal and glass remained. A long tube, largely hollow, except for the pieces of glass inside. Dusty, if you look through them, you will be able to see that which is far, much closer. It is a spyglass.
I'm gonna clean it off and turn it towards the ship.
You're able to see Flaming Fist mercenaries on the ship in the bay, or in the estuary, I should say. A couple miles distant. They look like legit Flaming Fist mercenaries going about their business as they're keeping the ship tidy and in shape. There aren't that many on, giving you the idea that most of them have come ashore.
I'll be back in a second. The princess of the house is demanding to be fed her dinner.
I relate the information and hand the spyglass over to Fennec. Doesn't look like they've seen us, but it also doesn't look like their ship has a full complement.
Fennec takes the spyglass and looks through it. Pretty sure you're right. I think probably best to keep moving and keep our distance from them anyway.
We're gonna run into these motherfuckers on the river. I just have a feeling.
Problem for another time.
Well, I feel like we should have a game plan at least. These guys are serious at what they do. They get hired for a job. They don't back down. They're kind of fascist, if you ask me.
I don't. Tyrannical, says Azaka.
Not tyrannical, just thorough.
They claim that they control Chult now, at least the northern
Do they?
parts, and they are charging anyone who does not have a permit to explore considerably, or beating them to within an inch of their lives and leaving them in the jungle to die.
Sounds about right. That's what Quasha said. Well, what's the game plan if we run afoul of these motherfuckers on the river?
I have no reason to fear them, says Azaka.
Do we fight them, or do we try to talk to them, or should we try to flag down that ship?
Why would we flag down the ship?
Well, maybe the captain can give us some permission or whatever to be out here in case we run into their crewmates.
As far as I was aware, this was not claimed territory.
Well, the Flaming Fist seems to think otherwise, according to the natives. Ah, well, I'm just pointing out that they're very well trained. I know personally.
Now, my further question is, as you travel down the river, do you want to travel quickly and have a chance of going an extra hex every day, but also being ambushed by any random encounter you have, most likely? Or do you wish to proceed at a normal pace, traveling 2 hexes per day on the river, but having a better chance of detecting ambushes?
Doesn't matter to me.
So just normal speed then, it sounds
Yeah,
like.
normal
I
pace
think
is what
normal
it
pace is fine.
Mm-hmm.
You're not traveling on the open river long before the sides of the banks begin to grow steeper and steeper until they're towering over you, forming a fairly deep canyon. And as you enter into the canyon area, you begin to hear echoing laughter kind of all around you. You see ahead of you, there's a large, ahead and above of you, there's a large span of stone that crosses the water. And perching on its walls and hanging from its tails are hundreds and hundreds of monkeys. As you look closer, you realize that not all the monkeys are in fact living. Some of them are, not to say that some are undead, but many of them are actually carvings or statues that have been added to the stone span. And the chaos involved makes it difficult to tell where the skilled artistry ends and where the actual living monkeys begins. They chatter and shriek continually.
Can we throw up some food to the monkeys as we pass? How far above us is it?
Let's see. Looks like it's about probably just like 20 feet at this point. 20, 40 feet. Oh, it's higher than that. Hold on. Let me see. I've got an actual map. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. About 30 feet up.
Oh, well, toss a couple days worth of rations. Just fucking huck it up to the monkeys to kind of distract them.
I mean, they'll definitely catch it.
All right. I'll mark it off.
Kawasha, as you pass underneath it, will point to and it definitely distracts the monkeys. He points to where you can see the entire under part of the span is marked with these maze-like symbols. And Kawasha points towards them and says, those are symbols of Ubtao, the god who once protected this land, lord of the dinosaurs.
Ooh.
It is said there is a shrine that stands in the center of the bridge.
A shrine to Ubtao?
Indeed.
But Ubtao isn't present in these lands anymore?
He has turned his face from Chult.
As gods are wont to do.
Much occurred to cause this to happen.
Well,
They worshipped by solving mazes. Many of their temples took the shape of mazes. And once the order that I belong to was responsible for showing tribes and clans of the jungles how they fit into the web of life. Now the web of life, though, has been too disrupted. No one can hear what needs to be done.
Is that why Ubtao abandoned Chult?
It is part of the reason. Yes.
It's very sad.
That said, they say that he's still waiting for us to earn his favor once more. They say that the Chwinga spirits are pieces of Ubtao, though I do not know if that is true.
What are you alluding to? Should we stop and pray at this temple to earn the favor of the Chingwa?
He actually kind of seems a bit surprised. He says, actually, I was just sharing information, but that does not seem it would be like a bad idea if we have time to stop a moment.
And, wade through monkeys.
I do not think they will trouble us. At the very least, I can speak to them if they seek to give us trouble.
Darkassin will lean over at Balthazar. What do you say? If Jay is there, I don't know if Jay is there.
Momentarily not able to respond. I believe he can hear us, though.
Fennec? Any opinions?
Anything to give us extra protection isn't a bad thing in my book.
I don't put much stock in the gods. I put more stock in people, but Balthazar seems to weigh heavily in their favor.
You're still muted, Jay, though I think he can hear us now. In any case.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Darkassin wanted to know your opinion. Kawasha said that there's a shrine to Ubtao, the god who used to protect this land, in the middle of the stone span with the monkeys on top. Darkaston actually suggested y'all stop for a moment, climb up the cliffside, and like just visit the shrine quick to try to earn the favor of he who once protected these lands.
Oh yeah, Balsar absolutely agrees.
And I believe Balsar knows from a previous roll that Ubtao, and if not, I think he has plenty of religious knowledge to cover this, as it's pretty well known. Yeah, I just rolled quick for you just to be sure. Ubtao was given sole dominion over this land by all the other deities. And technically that still stands, even if he's not, like, directly overseeing it at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see here. Here's a map. I actually think this battle map is very pretty.
Wait, battle map? I thought this was like a scenic tour.
It is, absolutely.
Metagame Pigeon says, "Ah, danger!" Woo!
This is just a visual aid. Don't worry.
We're gonna die. Woo!
Danger,
Nothing
Will
bad.
Robinson, danger.
Nothing bad ever happens in an old temple.
So, you're on the bridge. The monkeys do kind of like, they watch you, but they largely leave you alone. And you can see from here that there is a stone shrine standing at the midpoint of the bridge. It consists of an imposing statue of a Chultan warrior wearing a war mask, hunkered down like a panther ready to pounce. Like the monkeys elsewhere on the bridge, the carving is highly stylized. Bright gems flash in its eye sockets. And you can see that there's a human skeleton lying crumpled near the statue's feet.
Oh,
Several of
joy.
its bones are obviously broken, but it's impossible to tell whether these injuries happened while the person was alive or were caused by scavengers after death.
Question: is this all taking place on the same day from the Spectre fight?
It is.
Okay.
This is later in the afternoon.
Just wanted to check.
Yep.
Hey, Asaka, can you use your mask or Quasha, I suppose? Ask the monkeys what's up with that.
Kwasha and Azaka will seek to conversing with the monkeys. Clearly, it's an animated affair with the monkeys jumping up and down, excited to communicate with usually people who are too stupid to communicate with them, of course. And Kwasha being patient and amused, and Azaka growing honestly kind of frustrated. But eventually, they're able to turn back to you, and they'll say, I guess the statue came to life when they tried to take the gems out of its eye sockets. That's what I got out of it anyway, Asaka says. And Kwasha nods, like,
Well,
yes,
it's a good thing we're not here to defile the temple then.
precisely. As long as we show proper obeisance to Ubtao, I do not think the statue will seek to harm us.
All right.
Balasar kind of looks over his shoulder at Darkasson, and then that goes double for you.
Hey.
There is a specific method of obeisance, however. Says
What does that involve?
we should approach the statue, but stay near the railings of the natural bridge here, and then choose one of the mazes. Place your fingertip at the center of it, and find an unbroken path to walk past the statue.
Oh, so it's like a puzzle.
We just simply need to follow the maze across the bridge. And in this way, we'll show our respect to the father of the dinosaurs.
All right. Lead the way.
As you get closer, you can all approach. Kwasha will lead the way, happily. Weed right behind him. Azaka's still kind of hanging back a bit.
Fennec will follow behind Kawasha.
As you get up close, you can see that there is quite a lot of lichen and moss that has grown up over the bridge. It looks like the puzzles aren't very difficult, but they'll be made kind of more difficult by the lichen and moss. Do you want to try to do something to remove the moss before you proceed? Kwasha frowns. Says, it will be difficult to do the maze with this lichen. More difficult, not impossible. But if we remove it, the statue may interpret that as desecration.
I say we navigate and deal with it.
Yeah, I'll just be extra careful. Take your time.
Kwasha nods. You will proceed to attempt to trace the... He just runs his finger along one of the maze's paths and walks right by. The statue remains still. Weed goes with him. Weed counts as part of Kawasha as far as Ubtao is concerned, it would seem.
Of course.
Which is good, because he also attempts to trace behind Kawasha, but it's clear that he just does not get the concept.
And Ubtao gets that he doesn't get it. Veggie pygmies.
Who's going next?
Balasar will walk up.
All right. Please give me a straight intelligence check.
Did that show up? Because
It
it's
did.
rolling over the top of the map, so I couldn't tell.
That worked. Yeah, Balasar is also able to trace its way along the path to cross the span correctly. Who's next?
Fennec can go next. It's straight intelligence roll.
Yep.
Here we go.
Fennec gets to like there and then realizes that he's taken a wrong path and he doesn't immediately figure out how to go back. And in a moment of hesitation, he takes his finger off the edge, and the statue comes to life suddenly and quickly, kind of swinging his blade at him. Or swinging one heavy... It's a blade, but it's not sharp. It's made of stone.
Crap.
That's a long way down to the water from here, too.
Indeed, he shoves Fennec directly off the bridge into the water. I don't think he takes any damage.
Grappling hook.
Nice. All right. I'll allow it. They... Athletics check.
Alright. Athletics. Crap!
Oh, not this time. The grappling sails up in the air past the bridge, then falls back down.
I missed my quick time event.
Oh, fuck. Dark Acid will shout down, "Are you okay?"
Well, you'll take half the damage you normally would, because you're falling into water. That's the good news.
Okay.
So it's just going to be... 8 damage. I'm sure. Hold on. I'm sure Bran would have threw a heal at you also in between here. No. I guess you 2? No. Would have called that a day. Well. Yeah. And you guys have a short rest, actually, at some point, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the damage off you.
Okay.
This way. There we go. All right. Then you took 8 damage from the fall. Whoosh, you fall into the river below.
Wow.
The statue returns to its former position, just kind of.
Just throws him
All
off
right.
the bridge.
All right.
Bran will say, Bran will be like, I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah.
After everyone makes sure Fennec is okay. And by the way, it's not a highly dangerous river at this point. You're able to just kind of break the surface once more and then make your way to the shore.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, fuck.
Luckily, it's not actually doing damage with the attack, so Bran's knocked off, and because it's a critical hit, he doesn't even get his wings out in time. He too falls into the water and comes up near Fennec. It's he'll also take a little bit of damage. 8 also.
Couldn't figure it out either, huh?
Remind us to make sure we tell Sean that happened. Hopefully he'll watch the replay. So
Yeah.
all right.
I'll
Well,
remember
just
to
start
upload
casting
it,
Azaka left to give it a
whatever.
try.
All right, I'll go. Let's do this.
Azaka will kind of go at the same time on the other side.
Yeah.
That is good enough. Darkastin is able to trace his way across, solving the puzzle. Azaka's not so fortunate, which she gives a horrified scream. She approaches very cautiously, and then it's so busy kind of trying not to look at like the edge that she's flung directly off. And she actually takes damage as she hits the water.
Ooh.
She gives an almost feline yowl as the thing strikes her. The damage is clearly from the fall, not from the thing hitting her. And then she makes her way back up to your guys' continues and says, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. She gets out of the water.
Where's
What's the matter, Asaka? Don't you like water?
It's not the water, he says.
It's a cat who's afraid of heights. Oh my god, it's a cat who's afraid of heights.
She frowns. She's like, why do you think I asked for your help? Obviously, I could have fought those Terrafolk, but if they'd thrown me off the edge, I very well could have perished easily.
That's a good point. So you don't stitch yourself back up together if it's, crushing from falling damage.
Yes, and I'd prefer if we kept that, private.
I mean, it's very specific, but duly noted.
Let's see. I guess you're good to go then.
What are these statues on the side here?
Those are
Monkeys?
the monkey statues.
Okay. Can I place what is it called? One of the Yukwa, the short spear?
Yeah, Ikawa.
Yukwa. I'll place it reverently in one of the statues.
By all
Kind
means.
of a bonus prize to whoever solves the puzzle.
Excellent.
There you go.
You do feel. I mean, after the other three have fallen, and you three are standing there, and you place the spear kind of lean it in one of the monkey statue's arms. The monkeys fall silent for several minutes. And they're all just kind of looking at you. They don't seem displeased.
Not that we can tell because
But
they're
it's
fucking
definitely-
monkeys.
Yeah, it's definitely, exactly. It's certainly an eerie moment.
Turn around and give the monkeys a thumbs up.
They just keep staring quietly. And then they all kind of point, like, away from the bridge. Like, not all of them, but many of them just start, like, pointing one by one. And
What are they
then
pointing
nodding.
at?
And they're just pointing away from the bridge. And they're nodding. Like, almost bowing to you a little bit.
Aarakocra, what the fuck does that mean?
They want us to go. They said that our work here is done.
Okay, alright. Makes sense.
We have shown great respect. If anyone is following us, they will make it difficult for them.
That's excellent to know.
Hooray.
Huh. The corpse that we passed, did it have any defining markers?
No, it had
on
clearly been picked clean by the monkeys long ago.
Okay. No, like tabards or anything.
No,
Just
it was
shreds.
it was literally just a skeleton of bleached bones, bleached broken
Alright.
bones.
Cool. Well, hopefully Ubtao knows that we're serious and we're trying to cleanse his land of whatever foulness this soulmonger is.
You do feel a sort of warmth filling you as you gain XP for this experience.
What?
I mean, you could have got more if you fought the stone golem.
Well, we still can. We just gotta go fuck it up and take its eyes.
Yeah, that'll go well.
Those jeweled eyes look tempting for an archaeologist.
They sure
I'm
do.
just saying.
But dying does not. So.
Unless there's anything else you wish to do here, you are free to get back in your canoes and continue your journey south.
Let's do it.
The day passes uneventfully as you make your way down the river. Otherwise, uneventfully, I should say. Next day, random encounters. Go. That morning, as you're just setting off, you just set off and you're traveling down the river. Let's see. I've got an order for how you guys sit in the canoes, don't I? Fennec is at the head of the canoe. Okay. So Fennec, you look down and you see kind of perched on like the prow, like where the two sides of the canoe come together at the front. A small glowing humanoid figure wearing like a black stone mask. I believe that you recognize it from the description. Yes, I've shared it with you before. You recognize it as one of the Chwinga spirits.
Oh.
And it's just kind of looking up at you. Its head tilted slightly to one side.
Yeah, I look back down at it and tilt my head to the in the same direction and just kind of wave at it.
It waves back, and then it kind of dives between your legs underneath, like, the seat of the canoe.
Okay.
And you're not quite sure where it went.
Who's all in this canoe with me?
Everyone.
Okay. I thought we had two canoes now, though.
Did you get 2 canoes? Yeah, you have 2 canoes. So I guess not necessarily everyone. Maybe we should rearrange. So what? Fennec and one other party member is in this boat. Who is it? If no one volunteers, it's Bran, and Bran it is. With Darkassin and Balasar in the other boat. And then what? Azaka can also be in the boat with Darkassin and Balasar, and
Aha, we have the weed.
and
Mhm.
Kalasha will be in the boat with the canoe. All right. So yeah, in your canoe is Fennec, Bran, Kalasha, and Weed.
Okay.
Iguasha, one of those chewinga things, is scurrying around in here.
Do you have something to offer it? It likes little gifts.
Let's see. I think if no one else is opposed, give it one of those shiny gems that we found a while back.
Oh yeah.
Of the 4 of them that we have. I'm assuming
That's
we
still
divvied the 4 of those out, one to each of us or something.
It might still
Kalasha
be party
says,
loot.
just set it underneath, in the shadows underneath your seat, and then don't look at it for a bit. If it accepts the gift, you will find something else in its place later.
Okay.
Yeah, the shiny gems are in party loot.
Yep, I think didn't I delete one? No, I didn't. I did now,
Not
though.
yet. Yeah, I was just making sure that no one else had wanted all 4 of them or something. So
I mean, we're not. I mean, they're just gems. They're worthless until we can hawk them, right?
this is true. Alright, so yeah, I set that one and I follow Quash's instructions and don't pay it any mind while we continue going downriver.
Excellent. Later, you find, when you look a few hours later, you find a very pretty shell. You don't think it's worth anything necessarily, but is clearly a gift from the Chwinga in exchange for what you offered them.
Yay. I'll pick up the shell and add it to my pack.
Yep, I've added it to your inventory as a pretty shell.
Alright.
Sweet. And the rest of the day passes uneventfully. Oh, I should give you your hit points back
Yep,
also.
I was right about to say, like, do I get to rest finally?
Yeah. Go. The third, I gotta make sure I advance the calendar too. So that's one. That was. That.
We're almost there.
Today is technically the autumnal equinox, though in this jungle it hardly feels like autumn. You wonder how hot
Fascinating.
it must be in the summer if this is how cool it is now.
So what are the holy days of Bahamut? They're Belisar.
Put Jay on the spot there.
Yeah. You don't have to actually tell me. I was just making small talk.
Yeah, you can make stuff up. I don't think there's specifically called out. Though to be fair, Bahamut isn't big on rituals or ceremonies. He believes very much on praying through deeds. Are you going to reply at all, Jay?
Well, I'm sorry?
You didn't hear Darkassan asking Belisar about holy days of Bahamut?
No, I'm sorry. I
Oh.
got totally zoned off into my own little world there. So, repeat the question for me, please.
Now Darkassan's muted. And he thinks he's talking to you, but he's not.
So are there any holy days that Bahamut requires that you celebrate?
I should know the answer to this question, but I honestly don't.
It's okay. There aren't very many. Bahamut's orders isn't very big on ritual or ceremony. They believe strongly in praying through deeds. I mean, you can make up whatever you want, but it's kind of, they're not big on ceremony.
Bahamut has no time for parties and celebrations. He only bestows his favor upon those that do great deeds in his name.
Just some religions celebrate the equinoxes.
Ignore
Not
that
be mine.
XP I just gave you. Sorry.
Interesting. Good to know. Carry on.
As you're traveling, as you're asking this question, you kind of look down into the water and you can see there's a lot of fish in there. They're clearly like swarming around the sides of the canoe and following after you. And you can see that these fish have very large, sharp, almost gleaming occasionally as they come near the surface teeth. They don't appear to be threatening you with any immediate danger since you're in the boat, but you can't help but wonder what would happen if you weren't in the boat.
Hey, Sokka, why don't you stick your hand in the water?
And give them a free meal, and give the Quippers a free meal, she says. I think not.
Come on, you're no fun.
It still hurts, even if it does me no lasting harm.
Oh, I learned 2 things about you in the last couple days.
She kind of scowls a little bit, though, in a slightly playful way.
Sarcasm will blow her a kiss.
Eventually, the Quippers, as they seem to be referred to, piranha-like fish, do disperse after you go to shore to make camp. But it's good to know that is a possible threat.
So those fish with the weird teeth, are those edible?
Something tells me they would eat you as quickly as you'd eat them.
Tit for tat, motherfucker.
They are edible, says Kwasha, but not particularly tasty. There are better fish in the water to eat.
Seems like everything on this continent is trying to kill something else.
It is the way of life, but it has been, as I said, disrupted.
Not so different from Baldur's Gate, I suppose.
I would not know, though I suspect you are correct.
The predators there are dressed a little bit more flamboyantly, shinier colors.
The next morning, as you're getting ready to, or as you're, again, shortly after you've left, as you're kind of sailing down the river, well, not sailing, but canoeing down the river, you see another canoe heading north, the opposite direction from you. You can see inside there are humanoids wearing greenish robes over their armor.
As we
They
notice,
look similar to Kawasha's robes.
as we notice the canoe approaching, I want to pull up the spyglass and get a better look at them.
All right, you're able to see more closely, and they're definitely wearing Emerald Enclave outfits, who are a organization of nature-oriented adventurers who try to maintain balance between civilization and nature,
Okay.
which Kawasha clearly belongs to. There appears to be one older man, Chilton man, with dark skin and white beard, and otherwise bald, carrying a holy symbol, and then around his neck as an amulet. And then there are several other. Let's see. There are 4 others in the canoe who are wearing like leather armor that's been dyed green with a kind of green robe over it. And they are wielding short swords and long. They don't have them out, but they have short swords at their hips and longbows on their back.
Fennec kind of hands the spyglass over to Quash, like, friends of yours?
Yes, they look to be other members of the Emerald Enclave, though I don't know what they're doing out here. Well, other than the usual.
Perhaps you should take lead on speaking with them then.
If you wish. He raises his hand as you guys come closer. I mean, they saw you at basically the same time and did not immediately attack. As you approach, he says, "Oh, this priest, he is an old friend of mine. His name is Mezawar. They may know what lies ahead of us if we are willing to tell them what we have encountered. Is there anything you do not wish me to tell them?"
Nothing I can think of.
We should definitely make sure we mention the Flaming Fist mercenaries and ask you about those.
I agree.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah, definitely mention them.
He nods. You kind of all like awkwardly greet each other and then pull over to the side of the river to talk. Well, the priest Mezawar explains to Kawasha that they are headed north from an expedition to Lake to find Lake Luo, which should be the source of this river, the River Olong, and ensure that it is in good health. He explains that they were able to locate the lake, and well, there appears to be a great deal of volcanic activity in its area, and much of the aquatic life has perished. The water itself cools and loses most of its poisonousness as it flows north, so the river should remain fertile even if the land around the lake has become a wasteland of ash and salt. If you are traveling south, says Mezawar, You would also be well to be wary. The river go too far to the south, and you will pass by the Garden of Nangalore.
Why is...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It is a tragic and cursed place, well avoided by any but who have good reason to journey there. Mangalore means in common, says Kwasha, the Garden of Lost Dreams. It is said that a old queen of Chult dwells there, cursed to live in imprisonment and disgrace for all time.
Can you mark that down on our map so we could best avoid it?
I can give you a general location. But I myself, it is off of the river. I myself did not journey to it, as I have no good reason to be there. I've put a circle on the map, kind of southwest, 10-foot quote-unquote circle, and it is somewhere within that circle.
It's a bit further south than we were planning on traveling, so that's good.
No, damn it. Pulled up the wrong damn map.
I do that a lot, because I have a lot of them listed. Is there any news you would have of us, of what lies to the north along the river?
It appears that the curse of the undead has reached out to the river, and at points we encountered a specter.
Fortunate. Usually the running water keeps this mostly spiritually pure, but at times there are encroachments. We'll keep a wary eye for such things.
Also, there were those big fucking undead four-armed gorillas that we fought in the river. What was that, north of where we are?
Yeah, north and west. It was west of Mesro, so it's kind of
Yeah.
over like here-ish.
Mhm.
Put a pointer. He nods. Yes, we usually retreat when we encounter the zombie gorillons. Truly, Razni put a plague upon this land, and one day we will clear it. He says, putting his hand on Kwasha's shoulder, and clearly an attempt to be encouraging.
Razni, I've heard this name before. What does Nuts say something about Razni?
Who?
Is he the artist or Kwasha?
I think Kwasha had mentioned it before.
Some holy man of Ubtao, right?
Once, but he fell. The ruin of Chult was, much of it can be laid at his feet, and much of it is the responsibility of our people in general as well, says the old priest. But we must not dwell on the darkness of the past. We must forge forward towards the hope of the light ahead.
Have you encountered any flaming fists on your journey?
No, they don't travel this far south, thankfully. They pretty much stop at the Bay of Mesro, though I hear a few of them are making their way down southeast down the coast.
They are moored at the mouth of this river to the north.
Good to know. We have the appropriate papers that they deem necessary, just in case, but...
Can we look at those?
For what reason? Says Meswar.
Just to see how official they actually are.
Are you telling the truth or are you lying?
No, I literally want to see what kind of paperwork the fucking mercenaries have people carrying around. Maybe we can forge it later or something like that.
Make a persuasion check.
Sure.
Someone can assist you, I'm sure, if they wish.
Would somebody wish to assist?
I mean, Bran will, at least.
Okay. Let's do it. There you go.
Of course, says Meswar. Any friend of Kawasha's is a friend of mine. And he shows you the papers. They look pretty official. Here, I have one moment. I can get you exact wording, I believe. But a moment. Sorry, I didn't have the proper area up because I was not anticipating running into this random encounters. Here we go. You can see that basically it just says that, the here we go. It says Charter of Exploration on top in common, and it goes to explain that Baldur's Gate lays claim to everything east of the Mistcliff and north of Kitcher's Inlet, and additional holdings not further described south to Refuge Bay. It looks official enough, but on the other hand, this land technically belongs to the merchant princes of Port Nyanzaru. So I mean, it could go to war, but it seems to suit both their interests at the moment to just kind of let the Flaming Fist do this. The charter grants permission to the holder to explore Chult and plunder its riches, but half of the expedition's proceeds and discoveries must be turned over to the Flaming Fist. It also explains there's a 50 gold piece down payment that was paid to acquire this document.
Are you fucking serious?
And it counts, the 50 gold pieces does count as a down payment towards the split of the profits. In addition, it gives the charter the rights to hire up to 6 Flaming Fist mercenaries to accompany them at the rate of 1 gold piece per 10 day.
Who signed off on this?
I mean, it says Meswar, priest of Miliki, on the bottom.
Yeah, but who's the Flaming Fist that
the Flaming Fist.
it?
It looks like it appears to be a woman named Commander Liara Portier.
Does that ring a bell at all? To anyone? Anybody?
I don't think in particular to anyone, though people could roll a history check to kind of see if it sounds familiar. No, you haven't heard of her.
No. I kind of look incredulously at the druids and say, "You paid 50 gold for this piece of paper."
It was paid by the Emerald Enclave, and we have no intention of plundering this land, so it's
Never mind.
We'll not be returning with great treasures for them to steal from Chult.
Yep, they still got 50 gold off of you. That's much akin to highway robbery as any.
I'm inclined to agree, but it's more expensive to contest them. And it's good forever. So, a one-time expense.
For value that they invented. Sounds like a grift to me.
I don't disagree with you. You have a wise assessment of the situation.
Kind of lean over to Brand. Brand, do you think you can copy this?
Does Bran? I mean, Bran says yes, regardless of whether
Right.
whether it's actually true or not.
I mean, I think forgery kit is a specific thing that you can
It is.
get.
Says, I mean, I don't. Bran basically says, I don't know how, but I bet I can do it.
Do you have paper and a pen?
Yes.
Fucking go for it.
Well, not right now.
Why not? You have a copy right in front of you.
Meswar says, I would prefer if you did not copy our copy.
Well, we'll change the names, obviously.
They might have some sort of way to determine. You could get us in trouble for no reason, he says.
Ah, fair enough, fair enough. Bloodshed it is, then. All right, here we go.
He looks somewhat alarmed, holds his staff for a moment,
What?
then relaxes.
No, not you. I mean,
With
hypothetically,
Flaming
if we
Fist.
run into Flaming Fist, yes.
Well, if you're this far south and surviving, you'll likely be a match for them in any case.
I don't know. They're extremely, I mean, they don't fuck around.
Where are you headed, if you do not mind sharing?
Dark Castle, look at Bran.
I mean, I think Bran's okay with it. I don't know. It seems fine.
Uh,
This guy's not a bad guy.
Balthazar, Fennec.
I'm not opposed to keeping a secret. We're we're heading to Kier Sabal. Right? That is where we're going, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beware you do not head too far east. There is a sinkhole of considerable size that can surprise travelers in the jungles east of Kirsabal.
Oh. Can you mark that on our map?
I don't see why not.
Like right here ish?
Somewhere in this area, east of Kirsabal.
All right. Man, we are just filling in this map. It's more
That's the
valuable
goal.
than when we started.
Well,
We're
we
doing
should
it.
continue on our way. Best of luck, Kawasha and traveling companions.
Same to you, friend.
Balasar gives a gesture and offers a blessing of Bahamut upon their journeys.
Well, I think he returns the favor with a blessing of the Forest Queen, Myliki. All
Cool.
right. The rest of the day passes uneventfully as you continue your travels down the river. Should be one more day of travel. And it passes uneventfully. So, would you like to travel through the evening, or would you like to make camp and leave in the morning?
Probably safer to travel in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I say we make camp.
I'll second. In fact, I'll volunteer first watch.
As long as you travel with me, says Kwasha, the Chwinga will guard our slumber. But you are welcome to. Unless we are in a place of great darkness. But you are welcome to keep watch nonetheless if you wish.
What I mean to say is I don't really sleep and I'm going to be up, so...
Fair enough. Monitor is coming off of its stand.
That's not good.
No, a screw randomly broke recently, and I've got it taped on until I can summon up the motivation to actually fix it.
There's a box of screws downstairs. I bet one of them would suffice.
It probably would. All right, so on the next morning, you prepare to set off into the jungle. You can kind of see the plateau that Kirsabal's on, even from where you are now. You could see it since a couple days ago on the river, arching up over the jungle.
Cool. Do we get as lost as we normally do since we have a character that can fly up over the canopy?
I mean, that's assistance, so someone should roll survival with advantage.
Wasn't it me that was making those checks?
It was you or Fennec, I'm pretty sure. Yours is +4, Fennec's is +3. So yeah.
Okay, I thought it was me. Doo-doo.
Damn.
You are fairly certain that you are not lost. And check. You're able to make your way through the jungle to the base of Kirsabal. You can see that an ancient monastery overlooks the jungle from its perch on the cliff of a tall plateau. Stone steps and rickety walkways connect the various buildings, the lowest of which is 500 feet above the ground. The main building has a circular maze-like symbol that you are now able to easily recognize as the holy symbol of Ubtao. It is carved into its crumbling facade. Every few minutes, you see birdfolk either landing at the monastery or launching themselves from its balconies and taking to the sky. There's still a bit of sunlight left, an hour or two, perhaps. Here is visual aid. Though again, you are still absolutely at the bottom.
Wow.
All
This
right.
is huge.
So, how do we? I mean, it's way up, and like, how do we get up there?
You could see that steps were cut into the cliff face and wooden walkways as well, but many of them have decayed and fallen apart, clearly not taken care of by the Aarakocra who dwell there now.
Right, because they don't need to.
You would likely make your way up, but it may be difficult. You'll need to find a way to cross the wide gaps in the walkways. Or keep a wary eye to not step on any planking that won't support weight. Or you can try to figure out a different way to get up. Obviously, Bran can fly up, but can't really carry anyone in the process.
Can Bran go ask or announce us or something like that?
Sure. He flies up to go do so. About an hour passes and he has not returned.
And he's not returned?
Correct.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
That was my fault. I suggested it. He got distracted up there, and he forgot that we exist. Oy. So now what? We just sit down here in the fucking dark?
Well, let's start heading up. I think I could try and use my grappling hook to go across those broken gaps.
All right.
I think that between us we can make it up, says Kalasha. Worst case scenario, I'll turn you into a bird.
Come again?
I can't really do that, he says with a laugh.
There is like a flicker of like severe anger in Darkassen's eyes at that comment for some fucking reason.
Kalasha says, holds up his hand, says, sorry, I did not mean to mock you.
I understand. It was just very specific.
I see. So basically to get up this, you guys need to make 3 checks. Only one person needs to make each check, but it kind of determines how it works for the whole party. 1 athletics check, 1 acrobatics check, and 1 perception check. You can decide who makes what.
Dibs on the perception check because I suck at the other 2.
I'll do the athletics. I have +5 and a proficient.
All right, I guess I'll do acrobatics, even though I'm not proficient. I probably got a pretty good dex score.
And 2 of you, up to 2 of you, can be assisted by one of the NPCs. Which 2 people would you like to be assisted?
I would suggest the athletics check since it's untrained.
No, he's trained in
I thought he was
athletics.
trained.
The acrobatics check.
Oh, acrobatics that's the one that's untrained. Yeah.
And what's the other one? Who else is going to roll with advantage then? Fennec or Balasar?
He's got a +5. I got a +4, so it's pretty much 6 in one, half dozen in the other. I also have inspiration to fall back on if I botch it too badly.
I have inspiration also.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'll just pick one of you then.
Okay.
How about Balazar, because Fennec has a failsafe also.
Yep.
Including inspiration.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right. So Balsar, make a perception check with advantage. Darkhaslin, make an acrobatics check with advantage. Fennec, make an athletics check.
Crap. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Cool.
There you go. Nice.
All right. Good work. Good thing for that inspiration. My other question is, do you want to wait for night to fall fully? Are you trying to approach stealthily, or you're certain that if you don't wait for night to fall, the Aarakocra will see you coming?
Is that
We're
going to be
not-
a problem?
Yeah, we're
We
not
don't think so.
foes.
They don't.
Yeah, so we haven't been classified as hostile that I know of.
Correct. I just wanted to check. You never know. Players, I've met you. All right, so you make your way up. It takes about an hour, but you are able to make your way around the rotted plankings and gaps and walkways. Oddly spaced support beams. There's a few near moments. There's a moment where Fennec believes that his grappling hook has found the right purchase, but it falls loose just as he goes to swing across. Luckily, it only falls about a foot and then grabs onto something else. He just kind of is left landing in off balance on the other side. And then you are able to approach the monastery itself.
What are these other buildings? Just residential?
So you are coming from obviously like the bottom area. And the first few buildings do look be entirely residential. Most of the buildings here do. They aren't all identical, but they're similar enough. It looks like all of them have several levels. Like they're all multi-level buildings for the most part, 2 to 3 floors. And hanging in many of the windows and such, you can see that there are kind of like necklaces and totems handcrafted from wood, feathers, scales, shells, teeth. Just kind of little weird religious, cultural iconography and art. Some of the Aarakocra look out at you curiously as you ascend, but you're not met by anyone immediately. Like there doesn't appear to be guards per se, which makes sense considering what you do here.
Community trade shop or blacksmith or
you don't see anything,
store.
any stores like that, at least on the first, either on the second level.
Okay.
Eventually, as you reach kind of right, like where the second level goes up to the third level, I'll draw on
That little tower.
Yeah, that little tower there. This area. You see that there are more than 2. There's 4 Aarakocra in kind of light brown robes, and they are clearly like guarding the doorway at that point.
Oh.
They nod to you, not hostilely, just kind of a slow nod, as if it's not horribly surprising that you're here. But they don't say anything immediately. They just kind of stand there placidly with their arms crossed within the sleeves of their robes. You can kind of see their wings folded behind them like a cloak. And they seem to be waiting to... did we lose someone?
No, that was somebody joining.
Oh, Sean joining just in time.
Just in time to find out why he vanished for an hour.
Yeah, but in any case, what do you do? You're confronted by these robed Aarakocra.
Who's the one that we saved?
I believe his name was Nephir. Yeah, Nephir.
Hey guys.
Oh, hey. Are you here to play or just checking in?
Yeah, I'm here to. I can spare. I'm gonna try to ride this one out to the end. I actually made some pretty good progress, so I feel like I could take a break.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You're here. They just made it to Kirsabal, so good timing.
Sweet.
You
Brand
abandoned us
flew
at the
off.
base.
So what happened was, we have something else we need to tell Sean too. What
I'm
happened?
logging in here.
Oh yeah, your character lost all their equipment and gold.
It all belongs to the rest of the party now.
Yes.
No, but you did actually
my
fall
corpse?
off of a bridge.
Oh yeah, you fell off a bridge. You guys were trying to show honor to Ubtao by tracing mazes along a railing of a bridge, and a stone golem knocked you straight off the bridge, and
Crit.
so hard that you couldn't fly in time. So you took some falling damage, but you were fine. It was just kind of embarrassing.
Oh, okay.
And then you all reached Kirsabal eventually, and
We encountered more from Quash's order.
Mhm.
yes, that happened as well.
And a specter.
And the Spectre.
Questions.
That's basically what's
The
That stole my
Emerald
life force.
Council or whatever.
Darkassin pissed off Artis Cinder before you guys left.
Oh yes, of
Why?
course.
He tried to
Stole the
steal the
ring.
ring. Or he did steal the
Boy.
ring.
I did steal the ring, but the ring stole itself back. We had a conversation.
Don't fuck with sentient artifacts, my dude.
That's I had to try. I mean, I wasn't
I will.
entirely surprised.
I mean, you get the feeling that you kind of lucked out there. It could have just like taken you for a ride.
I know, but it wanted me to kill the dude, and I didn't want to kill the dude. That wasn't part of the deal.
In any case, when you reach the Kirsabal, the bottom of it, there was a very difficult pathway that clearly had not been maintained by the Aarakocra that leads up to it. So Brand flew up to kind of try to ask the Aarakocra if there was an easier way up, and he did not return anytime soon. The party has not yet discovered why. But now they stand at the entryway to a tower that leads to the highest levels of Kirsabal after passing by many dwelling places with Aarakocra peering at them curiously, but not interrupting their path. There are robed Aarakocra with their arms folded in front of it, clearly kind of guarding the doorway or serving as guardians of some kind.
Do you have a map of the area by chance?
Yeah, I do. I'll share it with you here. They're looking at you, the five of you, plus Weed, expectantly.
And we're here to perform the ritual of the 7 winds or something. 5 winds, the 9 winds.
Yes, that sounds
9
correct.
Some number of wins. We'll
Sorry,
figure it out eventually.
We're standing at what structure right now?
You are up top.
You're somewhere else at the moment because you flew up here before
Oh.
everybody else, and now they're looking for you. I'll get to you in just a moment. Don't worry.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, we waited an hour and you hadn't come back yet, so we went looking for you.
So is anybody saying anything, or are you just staring back at these robed Aarakocra?
I think we should just stare back at them, and maybe it'll just be so uncomfortable that they'll say something first, and we'll have the high ground.
Well, that's what Darkassen's doing. Fennec, Belisar.
Hello.
Fennec ruins Darkassen's plan, which
Ah, come on. That one was ready to blink, I could tell.
We were invited here.
Who invited you? Says one of the Aarakocra.
If my memory serves, his name was Nephir.
Have you come to learn from the teacher?
He had stated that there was a rite to be performed as a thank you for our assistance in saving him.
Before you can dance with the winds, you must sit at the teacher's claws.
I'm ready for this lesson.
Sounds
With that,
interesting.
they will begin to part so that you guys can walk through, though the one who is speaking will continue to explain. Before you is a place of cleansing. Please leave an offering. You will see where, and cleanse yourself appropriately. You have no feathers, so sprinkle the gold dust and chalk into your hair. Or your spines, says looking at Balsar, in your head region. Do you understand?
We will do as you ask.
In the second area, there is a shelf. It contains candles and headscarves. Light a candle and don one of the headscarves. Do you understand?
Do we take the candle with us?
No, you will leave it at the statue there. You will see the others.
Then I understand.
Additional offerings would be appreciated, but are not necessary. You enter into the room and you see it looks like a pretty, this lower area room is very simple. There's just a few small tables with wash basins on them and smaller vessels of salt, powdered chalk, and indeed gold dust.
Balasar actually turns and requests whichever of his party members is standing closest to him to help him unclasp his armor.
Looks like
I'll help you if
it's
you help me.
it's Fennec. We now have a very excellent kind of a. I've seen this scene in manga before, where several of the burly men are taking each other's armor off in the washroom.
While they spend 30 minutes doffing their armor, I think I'm gonna shave my head.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, once I finish removing all of my armor, I actually pull my vestments out of my backpack.
And don them?
Yes, and on them. And within, amongst the vestments is also a handheld emblem of Bahamut.
Nice.
But yes, he leaves his weapon, his shield, and his armor, along with everything else, in this room. The only thing he takes with him is a handful of gold pieces, 10 to be exact, and then proceeds to perform the rite as instructed.
Excellent. Is anyone not participating in the cleansing ritual? Okay, sounds like you all are. Excellent. You head up onto the second level. You can see that this area indeed contains a wooden case that clearly has candles and headscarves. And at the east end of the chamber is a 5-foot-tall wooden statue. Flowers and offerings of food are placed all around its feet. The statue is obviously very old. It's been worn smooth by thousands of hands brushing against it over time, so it's impossible to determine what it originally portrayed, or indeed, like, what exactly sort of faith or religion is being demonstrated here. And there are, in addition to the flowers and offerings around its feet, there are some of the burning candles as well.
The ones we're carrying up?
Well, the case with the candles are in this room. The first room's the washroom.
Okay.
This room has the candles, so you're able to get them here and light them and place them around the shrine.
I'll leave a water skin, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
with water we've collected on our journey.
Noted. Did you subtract a water skin from your inventory?
I did.
I see that you have plenty of extra. You are well prepared.
Yes.
Is anybody else leaving anything additionally? Or choosing not to leave anything at all?
I'm gonna leave 5 gold.
Noted.
Balasar also leaves 5 as to not disrespect his fellow party member.
That seems right. Nice. Good call. I like that.
Gotta remember my ideal. I don't have a choice in this matter.
I mean, you do. You just get...
Well, right.
Yeah, but yeah, I hear you. Just Bahamut things.
Yeah, and then, I mean, the respect is one of the cornerstones of my faith.
All right. Sorry for the delay here, Sean, by the way. I just set it up so that you didn't have to be here, and then you were here. Which is fine. It's going to take me a minute to get back to you.
Suddenly, Sean.
You can proceed out from there and into the largest building. The building that you saw from the ground had the symbol of Ubtao upon it. Inside, you see several kneeling Aarakocra around a similar statue at the center of a maze pattern upon the floor. The Aarakocra are wearing large necklaces that feature huge wooden prayer beads, each the size, maybe slightly smaller than a coconut, kind of around their neck, though it does not seem to burden them in any way. And they have labyrinthine patterns painted onto their beaks, hands, and feet. There is another maps. Okay. Sorry, I lied. There's not a statue in this room. There's just the labyrinthine pattern on the floor. They do not seem to pay you any mind at the moment, being in some form of prayer or deep meditation. There's kind of stairs going up to the balcony, or there's a doorway to your right, or there's kind of an entryway into a hallway to your left. Or there's some people praying, meditating that you can ask what to do. But no one else accosts you immediately. Bran, actually, I'm just going to say that you're here in this room. That makes enough sense.
Okay, sorry, I thought it wasn't supposed to be there. So,
that's okay. You're here now. So basically, what happened with you was you made your way up to speak to the Aarakocra, and I say invited, but they said that basically you would have to. There wasn't an easier way up, so you might as well wait here. And while you do so, they strongly encourage that you meditate with them.
okay, where? Which building was this? Can you highlight it for me?
Yeah, it's in the largest building with the maze symbol on it.
Got it. Okay. Yep.
You can see there's even like a platform for you to like land on when you're flying up. It was the most obvious place to land.
Okay, so like I'm there, and they're just like telling me to kind of meditate with them, and that's what I'm in the middle of doing when the others arrive.
Yeah, sorry to railroad a little bit, but gotta
Oh,
do
no
what
problem.
I gotta do.
I mean, I'll work with it. It's cool.
It sounds well enough like what Bran might do.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go along with it. I'll do their thing for sure.
So you're free to stand up when your friends arrive if you wish, as they come through the doorway.
Okay, I just kind of look around, kind of shrug a little, like I don't know if I got much out of that, and then stand up. But I don't. Whatever. Yeah, it's cool. I
One
stand
of
up.
the Aarakocra stands up with you.
I look at them.
Nods, then looks towards your friends and said, "It is as we said. With patience, your friends arrived on their own, overcoming the challenges set before them."
Yeah, they are crafty like that.
Oh, here, I have some tasty art too. Forgot about that.
Ooh. Darkasson will smack his lips and kind of look at Bran with an expression that says, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
You have all come to meet with the teacher to see if you are worthy of the Dance of the Winds, yes? Says the Aarakocra monk standing next to Bran. Is there any other reason you have come to Kirsball?
And seek the blessing of Ubtao. Also.
Woobtao tilts his head to one side. This is not a place of Woobtao.
And yet the symbols adorn your building, do they not?
Those symbols have long since lost their previous meaning. Through ritual and tradition, through the teachings that we follow, we have established a pattern to our lives here, a pattern that overcomes any religious observance. We serve no deity here. We only seek to exalt that which is wholly within ourselves. The natural faith of this world, the feeling of the wind on your face, the stone of the mountain beneath your talons, the simple movement of your bones against each other as you raise your hand out in front of you towards another. The teacher will tell you more if you ask. Anybody who wants to can also make an insight check at this point.
Yeah, I was about to ask about something similar to that. Let's see. Well, I'm not learning much.
Boom. Mad skill.
I'll send a message to Balasar.
Did I disconnect or did it just get super
Nope.
quiet?
I typed you a message in Fantasy Grounds chat.
Oh,
so
yeah, you
make
did.
sure you look at that. You may proceed to the teacher now. I will show you the way. Or a way, he says, and then gives a kind of like chirping laugh.
Balasar places 2 fingers on his forehead and then draws them down to his side as he drops to a bow.
They watch this and seem appreciative enough. They will, if permitted, lead you upstairs. And to, let's see. Yeah, kind of up 2 flights of stairs, eventually leading to like a 3rd level on top. You can see the monks meditating below you, 20 or 30 feet. And then they open up an entryway and says, this is the antechamber. Once more, if you wish, you can prepare yourself further with washing in scented oils, reading from our inspiration scrolls, or painting yourselves with the labyrinthine patterns. This is not strictly necessary, though. Proceed through the other doorway in the room when you are ready, and there you will meet with the teacher. You are given a moment to discuss among yourselves in the antechamber before. There's no one else in here. Before you head into the teacher's chamber, apparently.
Would any of you wish to be anointed?
Kawash and Azaka will do it.
Sounds interesting.
I suppose it's necessary.
They were very clear that it's not a requirement. It is simply a sign of respect.
Well, we are guests in their home, which is several 100 feet above the ground, so...
Best to play along, says Azaka.
What's the largest city in Faerun? The Baldur's Gate?
Debatable, but no, probably Waterdeep.
Waterdeep.
Waterdeep, okay. So, Balasar kind of cracks a small smile and says, one in Waterdeep, right?
Get belligerently drunk and act like an idiot?
When you're in Waterdeep, do you not act as Waterdeep citizens do?
That tends to get people into trouble in my line of work.
Very well. Perhaps it was a misaimed analogy.
I get your meaning, though. It's very wise.
So Balasar goes through and anoints them with the various oils and scents.
Excellent. When
And
you're
then once
ready.
he's done with everyone else, he anoints himself.
Prepared properly, you make your way into what is clearly a proper shrine room. A life-size wooden statue of a creature that you recognize as a tabaxi, a cat person, stands against the far wall. It too is draped in flowers and beads. It is wreathed from in curls of incense smoke that trail upward from the many lit sticks that sit around its feet. Unlike the other statue that you saw, this one is in excellent condition, though it's clearly still very old. It can easily it can easily be recognized as a statue of Ubtao in tabaxi form. It's also equally clear, at least to Balasar, who's trained in religion. I don't think Dark has it. No. Balasar, who's trained in religion, that they're not worshipping Ubtao per se. They've clearly repurposed this statue to their own ends. Though equally, I mean, from what you've heard, Ubtao's abandoned this place, so it's debatable whether that's like sacrilegious or not. I leave it to you to determine how you feel about it. Sitting in front of it, in between the statue's kind of, well, not in between, kind of just beneath the statue's knees, with her legs curled up underneath her, is a very old female Aarakocra. Her wings still hardy, but the feathers have clearly gone white in many places where once they were all a mottled brown. She sits with her head slightly bowed, though she looks up, and her her fingers folded into peculiar patterns on her lap. She releases them, stretching them slightly before her, and then looks up at you with a soft smile. She says, "Welcome to Kier Sabal. I am Ashara, who they called the teacher. If
You honor
wish,
us. Sorry,
I
go ahead.
will. If you wish, I will teach you as well. Nephir spoke of you. He said that you rescued him from the Terra folk. We are most grateful. They are a plague upon our people. And now perhaps that plague will be slightly lessened. Ask what you wish of me, and I will aid in what way I can."
You honor us by welcoming us into your home.
This might be a bit of a shallow question, but what does that Nephir, what does he do here? I haven't seen him since I arrived.
Nephir, that is a difficult question to answer. He is responsible for the maintenance of several important legacies that Kier Sabal holds. Ancient legacies of old Chult. You understand, I'm sure.
Don't think I do. You're saying he's some kind of priest, or
More of a groundskeeper.
All right, Hmm. I feel like she's speaking very vaguely, but
I mean, she's purposely trying to
right.
not
Is there
be
anything
specific to you.
Okay.
You can roll insight. That will help.
So I don't want to keep inundating her with questions. I'm trying to figure out what she's beating around the bush on. Although if I failed to figure it out, I'd probably just try to press her more. But
You think that she's speaking extremely metaphorically. At first, it seemed like she was talking about like art pieces or religious artifacts or that sort of thing, right?
yeah, well, yeah.
But the more she talks, the more it becomes clear that she's probably referring to something. You almost think she's referring to like a person or persons, like that Nephir is some sort of guardian for someone that is connected to old ancient Chult. And she's clearly being non-specific to protect that person or persons as well.
All right. I look around to the others.
We know a great deal of this land. You are seeking something, says Ashara. And you are also interested in undergoing the dance of the seven winds.
True on both accounts. We are seeking an evil called the Soulmonger that seems to have nestled into the jungles of Chult somewhere.
Yes, we have felt the death curse on our people as well. We can aid you in the dance of the seven winds, but I do not have. It will allow you to fly as Aarakocra do for several days. Unfortunately, it will require a quest, such as the way of ritual.
If any of you are afraid of heights, now's the time to say it.
Zaka frowns.
I quickly look kind of embarrassed and look down. Like, oh shit, that was a bad time for a joke.
We forgot to mention to you also, that was extra awkward because earlier Azaka fell off the bridge as well, and it clearly like disturbed her a great deal. And she actually took falling damage.
Right, I got her confused with Ashara, my bad.
No problem. Yeah, sorry, Azaka
Yeah,
and Ashara both in
Azaka,
the room.
right.
Yeah, Azaka looks like
Wait, were we ever aware that she had a thing with that?
No, but we kind of figured because she could have took all the terror folk by herself, but she didn't.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got it. Well, I have a low wisdom, what can I say?
Yeah, it's fine. It makes perfect sense.
Well, she basically admitted as much, right? She was like, well, I could have fought all of them, but
I didn't want to get thrown off the mountain,
but
so I brought you as distractions. She didn't say that exactly, but it seemed to be like the gist of her communication about what went down in Fire.
Oh boy.
That's okay. She's not super pissed. She's just like, come on, man.
Oh, I know, it's fine.
Come on. Ashar nods and explains. The ritual requires a black orchid, and unfortunately, it only grows in one place in Chult. Nangalore. Have you heard of this place?
we have.
If you wish to fly, you will have to retrieve the black orchid from the depths of Nangalore.
We were told by druids of the Emerald Enclave to avoid Nangalore.
It is a place of danger, but any worthwhile quest is accompanied by danger. The item itself is important, but it is equally important that you prove yourself worthy to the winds. It is not my favor you seek to curry, but that of existence itself.
What say the rest of you?
Well, what can you tell me about this place anyway?
Much.
How much are you willing to tell us about this place?
Equally much if you give the DM a moment to put up his notes on the subject.
Oh, okay. She was answering completely.
Some things are awkward when you're not actually sitting around a table. Like,
I gotcha. Okay, because I can't see you like reaching for things.
right,
That makes
exactly.
sense. Yeah.
I can tell you precisely where it is. I can tell you that it is occupied by Iblis, which are crane. No, that is not correct. Which are those who commit petty evil in Chult, when they perish, are often reborn as Iblis, crane-like creatures, which have no purpose but to sow mischief and evil. I can also tell you some of what caused the fall of the garden, if you wish.
We're here to learn, aren't we?
Something to do with Rosny, I'll bet.
Not directly what I found, but certainly related. Long ago, there was a queen of a city called Omu. It was a very vain woman, and her name was Zalcore. There was a mighty builder at that time as well, a general and an architect, and Zalcore's consort. In their time, he built the gardens for her, and then they were not called Nangalore, but Ka Nanji, the Hanging Garden Dream. It was a palatial retreat, said to be possibly the most beautiful garden in this world. Unfortunately, eventually, Zakora's mind became poisoned, and she made a pact with a great evil to retain her youth and beauty for all time. It fulfilled the great evil, whatever it was, fulfilled its side of the pact. But it cursed her into a shape that was beautiful but could never be looked upon. She was forced to abdicate from her throne, and she was exiled to her garden. She believed that her lover, the great general, Theru Taya, was among those who exiled her. But it is said that he remained loyal to her up to the day of her death. She lives still, waiting there amongst the flowers and the birds, wreaking her vengeance upon those who would dare to disrupt her shameful exile, and cursing those who would dare to look upon her beautiful visage. It is a sad story, but perhaps a necessary one. She inclines her head slightly, indicating that she is completed with her tale. Anyone have a response to that?
Just trying to digest.
Everyone's quiet for a moment as you consider what you learned. Hopefully someone was taking notes, although some of that information you will find in the Find a Black Orchid quest in the notes.
These crane creatures, they're undead?
No, merely living reincarnations of dark souls.
Oh, you said the word.
I was like, oh no, what am I doing?
How did they get reincarnated? They must have been before the soulmonger took hold of the world.
Oh yes, this has been the way of things for time untold.
What's your skin in Nangalore? What do you hope that we accomplish there other than to bring you a flower?
That is all. Not everything needs to be complicated. Most things are not. They only possess what complexity we introduce to them.
I could not agree more. There's a floating earth moat to the west of here. What do you know of it?
It is called the Heart of Uptau. Our scouts report that someone has recently taken up residence within it, but we stay away for the most part.
Someone?
At least one individual.
Human?
Unknown, though it is not a large creature.
So not like a dragon or anything.
No, something the size of us.
Duly noted. Guys, was there anything else we need to ask?
This whole this is steeped in so much mysticism and vagary that I don't know exactly what even to ask. Truly,
Are you not accustomed to this? She says, asking Bran.
honestly, no. I'm not so much how much Niffer told you of me, but I wasn't. I'm not from these parts. I'm not from any part that has our kind. I was raised by humans. You might have noticed by my manner of dress and the fact that I have this, and I point to my sword.
You may have your own way. Our way is the wind, and the wind circles and churns. It is never in the same place that it was a moment ago. So it is with words. Words are only wind.
Well, I suppose that's a fair point.
Do you have a quartermaster somewhere in the monastery? Somewhere we could perhaps barter for resupplying?
I am afraid not. We all kind of... everyone here tends to their own needs. When we require aid from each other, we merely request it. We don't really have stores.
Out of character. Fucking hippies.
They are indeed. You're welcome to whatever fresh produce you wish to have from the top of the plateau, if you are able to reach it. She smiles a little, as if that's a joke.
Well,
perhaps after the ritual.
Some of us can.
You know how to spread your wings, Bran Blackfeather, but you do not know yet what the wind is trying to tell you.
Ah, I could spread my wings, but not my mind. You sound like one of those wise monks that I hear about in those stories.
I
The
am.
monasteries and their mysterious rituals. I mean, as if I didn't already get that impression from being here in the first place.
I am that, she says, and she doesn't seem like embarrassed or distraught by Brand's description of it.
No, that's just Brand projecting because he's uncomfortable. Oh, well. You may be very well right. I have much to learn.
We will feed you and shelter you for tonight. And for longer, if you wish, as long as you wish to stay, in truth. As long as you are willing to follow our traditions and rituals, you may dwell here as long as you wish, but you said that your goals will take you elsewhere.
Your hospitality is very much appreciated.
Yeah, I'll nod along in agreement to that.
She nods. She says, you will stay here, or you will stay in one of the dwellings below. There is an empty one that we keep for guests. We'll have more than enough room for all of you. If you have no further questions of me, I believe I would like to resume my meditations.
I look around at the others, and I try to do my best to appear, mollified, satisfied.
Balasar actually steps forward towards the teacher. And he raises his hand in a gesture that seems almost like he's forming a talon. And he says, your teachings are very much along the same vein as Bahamut's.
She nods, but does not reply in words immediately.
I believe I have much to learn from you.
I have sent you a message on Fantasy Grounds.
Secrets and schemes.
Of course, she says.
Oh God, telepathy.
Perhaps you can join me later. No, I just like to tell people things. Although
Okay.
telepathy will work that way as well.
Good to know.
With this meeting concluded, there's not much to explore in Kirsabal. There's the area pass, which they have decidedly not let you into at this point, past this large building. And then one of the dwellings below has been made comfortable and clean for you. Everything in there is still quite old well, not everything, but a lot of the stuff in there is still quite old. But you are able to make yourselves at home. Is there anything anybody would like to accomplish before I move on to my next plot point? Before you all rest for the night?
No, I've got nothing further.
I mean, no is an acceptable answer. I just don't like to skip past what people want to do.
When she was answering questions about what's his name, Nefer, did she seem like she was really she you said she was trying to protect something, like protect an identity of something, like
Yep, absolutely.
could I have also at all sussed out that it had to do with the amount of company, or just like this is a general rule? Like this is
Oh, it was
very
definitely
much a
like you
secret.
guys are outsiders kind of thing.
Okay, definitely including me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, perhaps a little less, but yes.
I was thinking about trying to inquire more about that.
I won't stop you.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. So, barring other shenanigans, you're all resting that night. When, let's see here. How do I want to do this? Moment. Something. Are you actually AFK, Mike? I was about to say something to you.
I think that's a yes.
He is, because I just watched it on the stream. All right, fair enough. In that case, let's go. All right. Bran, you're awoken as you sleep.
All right. What happened?
You hear actually no, you don't hear. Something shaking your shoulder to wake you up. Not in like
Okay.
a cruel or violent way, just like, in the usual way that you would do to wake someone up.
All right. I open my eyes, lift my neck, and look around to try to figure out where it's coming from.
You don't see anything.
My shoulder's being shaken, and there's nobody shaking it.
Like it was immediate. Like you sit up and the shaking stops. It was very like light shaking. And you look around, and yeah, it's dark, but there's some lit candles. But you literally see nothing, even though your shoulder was definitely just being shaken.
Sneak out or step out. Like this is an open air room. Is this like one of those kind of like Aarakocra can fly in and out of?
Oh, not at all. This looks like it was made by humans, actually.
Oh, okay.
And it's
so
just
one door,
kind of like a building built. It's part of the building built into the cliff face. Yeah, it's got basically one door. Well, there's like a door out into the hallway that has several bedrooms, and then there's stairs down to the lower level where the entrance is.
And I don't see anyone like it's even with a little bit of a light, it's not obvious where this came from, right?
Well, not at first, but as you begin to get up to like look around more thoroughly, you see one of the candles raise up into the air, and it's just kind of floating there.
Not held by a hand.
Correct.
All right. I'm gonna. Who else is sleep? Everyone else is sleeping around me, right?
I don't think everyone's in the same room.
Oh, it's just in my room. Got it. Okay.
There's as many rooms as you guys want.
Okay,
Frankly,
well,
in this case, you're probably
I'll
spread into like
speak.
2 dwellings.
I'll just say, well, you've got my attention.
The candle kind of bobs in the air briefly as if to nod to you, and then it floats out the window. And
Okay,
then upwards.
Okay, gotcha. How large is the window?
You can definitely like squeeze through it if you fold in your wings a bit.
Okay, yeah, get my stuff.
Or you can just walk outside and fly up. Both work, but yeah. If you don't want to walk out into the hallway and you just want to leave for your bedroom, that is an option.
Yeah, take my essentials, walk out. I'll fly up kind of in the direction that it was floating.
Excellent. It kind of just flies up to like the lip of like the roof area. And you see standing there kind of sheltered, there's like the cliff kind of overhangs, and then there's like the level of the roof underneath that. So there's like a little space that's like concealed from the areas above and below, and mostly to the sides as well. Almost like a little cave-ish. Standing inside the cave, with her arms crossed, clearly waiting for you, is what appears to be a teenage female human. Chult in appearance. She has dark skin, and she's wearing a cloak of feathers and some lovely robes beneath, or a lovely kind of mixture of dress and robes beneath, just layers of fabric. It looks, comfortable enough. She's also wearing a headdress that's kind of just made up of like 3 gold circles of various size with labyrinthine patterns carved onto them.
Interesting. I'll give her a bit of a flourish and a bow, and I'll say, "How can I be of service to you?"
She seems to consider that for a moment. Then she says, "I believe you are supposed to kneel, but I think your bow was good enough, yes?"
Oh, well, I take it you've done this before. I'm not really from here. I'm sorry, I don't
Speak
know.
quietly, she says. We do not wish them to hear us.
From here.
You don't actually have to whisper, but yeah.
Okay, I start whispering and
Okay.
I just start keep talking. I just kind of keep talking and just like say it's quieter. I'm not really from here. I don't know much about the customs or I look like them, but I'm not really one of them, you might say.
Yes, you've
I'm all
come from the
How could I help?
kingdom of Faerun, correct?
Sure.
It's true that that's not exactly accurate, but close enough. Listen, I need your help.
With?
First, do you know who I am?
Haven't the faintest fucking clue, I'm sorry.
She draws herself up somewhat imperiously. She says, I am the Queen of Chult.
What?
The last Queen of Chult.
Kind of squint at her. Insight check?
Absolutely.
Oh, whoops! It didn't go in the right place. I rolled a 7, so not very well. I just rolled it in the wrong place, so it didn't count it.
Okay, if you want to be honest about a bad roll, I'm cool with that.
I do.
Just remember, also, you can just click on it as well, like the number. If you click or double click, forget which, it'll just roll automatically in the.
Probably double click. I'm used to just dragging. I drag
all the time.
place.
But yeah, I hear you. That's all good. Oh, and the candle's kind of just floating next to her, illuminating her as well. By the way.
Yeah.
But
how about,
you're not sure
like,
whether she's telling the truth or not. I mean, she seems like she is, or she seems at least like she believes she is.
Yeah, for sure. What about like a? Okay, no, we'll roleplay this out. Never mind. I was gonna say maybe a history roll, bardic knowledge. Like, have I heard anything? But yeah, since I'm not from here, I don't know if it's exactly. Yeah, it's not, I just kind of So she just announced that she's the Queen of Chult.
Yes.
Last of.
Very, very well, Your Highness. How can I be of service to you? I'm sorry. The circumstances are very odd. You woke me up in my room and took me up here, and you're the queen of. This is just. You have to
Ashara
admit.
and Aarakocra have treated us with nothing but kindness, and for that I am deeply grateful to. However, they've hidden me here too long. My kingdom waits for me. It suffers.
Wait. Nefir, is he your protector?
Yes, he is.
This is so much more interesting than I thought it ever
He is
could
among
be.
those who serve us in this capacity, and who is closest to us.
Yes. Ashara made mention of something. She was so vague about it, I couldn't figure it out, but this makes so much more sense. Don't worry, I won't tell the soul.
You may tell them, but we must wait for the time to be right.
All right, fair enough.
I want you to find my lost city and fetch me something from there. You and your friends.
Well, what else can you tell me to help in locating it?
I know it lies somewhere to the southwest. deep in the jungle, surrounded by the undead hordes. Ashara said it is too dangerous for me and my... She pauses for a moment, then stops. For me to go to there. Now, she advises that we wait. I think that we can prove that if you go there and bring back the chalice for me, it will prove to Ashara that it is possible. We can rally the merchant princes of Port Nyanzaru to their true leader, and we can take back this land for its people. But it all begins with you finding Omu and bringing back an ancient chalice of my people.
What was the name of the place that you just said? The name of the city?
Omu, he says.
Omu.
It was once the greatest city of Chult, greater even than Mesro. Unfortunately, when Ubtao betrayed us, the city fell deeper and deeper into decadence and ruin, and my family was forced to flee in its last days.
Yeah, Brian has a piece of paper and he's scrolling down a bunch of info here. It's like, this is really interesting. So Chalice down in Omu, hidden away in the jungle deep, surrounded by a horde of undead. So you want us to go find it for you, find the chalice, and then you think that will be enough to get these princes to rally their forces and take it over proper?
Yes, I do. It
And
will
you think
provide
Ashara's...
them the proof they will require that I am their queen.
I see. You think Ashara is just being a little too cautious? Is that the right of it?
She means well, but it is time. Past time.
Well, you know how to make a candle float around. How skilled are you otherwise with magic?
I have attained a few tricks, she says, looking at the candle that's just like floating in the air beside her. I must remain here, however. For the time being, at least.
You know, if you have the means to do so, we could use some additional supplies. It seems the Aarakocra here are, well, they're not exactly merchants.
To say the least. Certainly, what are you looking for? What do you require? If it is within my power, I will grant it to you.
All right, I'm gonna, oh boy. So when Fennec and or Darkassin, I think it was Darkassin who mentioned it, when he was asking about supplies, did he mention anything specific?
It seemed like he was mostly looking for like rations and stuff.
Okay. Right. Okay. Is it that we've eaten through a lot of it? I thought we hunted for a lot of our food.
I was looking more for insect repellent because I assume we chewed up a bunch more days since we last checked our supplies, and I only brought like 40 days worth.
Okay, I have about 20 days worth that we could start going on to, but we could use more, I suppose.
Well, remember, each insect salve, like each one that you bought, has 20 days in it.
Per person, though, right?
Yeah, per person.
So if you have 4 uses, it's if you use 4 uses of a salve, it's like 1 per person per day, right?
Yep. Okay,
yeah. So we've already gone through a lot of it.
Well, wait, no, it's not 1 per person. It lasts 24 hours each use.
Right. But I mean, one application of a salve is for 1 person, not for the whole party, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and it's 24 hours, and we've been...
You go through one between the 4 of you every 5 days, plus the other party members who take care of themselves. So you go through one every 5 days.
One every 5 days?
Every day. Yeah, because there's 20 uses in each container, and there's 4 of you.
Mm-hmm. I thought only 2 of us had it. So it'd be like...
I was just assuming you're all sharing. Yes.
Well, yeah, no, we use 2 from one of mine, and we use 2 from one of Dark Cassin's, so it'd be like 4 per 5 days, more like.
Sure. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Maths.
Approximately every 5 days, one is expended in one way or another.
Insect repellent mainly.
We don't really have much of that. The oil that the Aarakocra uses, they don't stay out for very long usually, and when they do, the oil protects them for the most part. As long as it isn't raining. I will see what I can get for you and have it delivered, however. We might have some supplies from other travelers. Though you are the first, your companions are the first non-Aarakocra I have seen.
Well, we're a long ways. I suppose you've been so forthcoming with me. I suppose we should be, or I should be forthcoming about our goals, and that is to put an end to the death curse itself.
She tilts her head. The death curse?
Well, the people who've been resurrected or withering away. Whatever's causing that whole thing to happen. There's some interested parties. That's kind of why we're here.
So many evils afflict this land. It must be because the queen is not on her rightful throne. If this death curse afflicts Faerun as well, will Faerun send its rulers, its soldiers to aid me?
Can't answer that. The nobility in our lands are, well, I don't know, they're hard to figure out. They're a bit fickle. I'm not sure what exactly. I'm sure they would love to see this death curse be ended.
Then when you return, I will send you next to the holding of Waterdeep to speak with the lords there. But first, we must find this chalice to truly prove my claim on the throne.
Well, wouldn't you see an end to the death curse yourself? Wouldn't that be helpful?
Of course.
Well, you didn't seem to know about it till just now.
I did not.
Oh, I suppose if you've been secluded, that makes sense. How can I get in contact with you again if you're being watched, protected, hidden, and so on, or will you just contact me?
Return to this place. And if you have the chalice with you, they will give you audience to me. If they do not, they will face my wrath. My gratitude only extends so far.
As you say. I will see that your word is given to my companions.
Thank you. And if you would, pauses a moment. The green one.
His name is Fennec.
Fennec. That is an excellent, strong name. Please convey him my regards. Personally, she says clearly.
Right. Yes. Will do.
Well, you're going to need my name if you're going to do that.
Of course, I was just getting around to that. May I have the pleasure of asking your name, Your Highness?
Your Majesty, she corrects. Your Majesty Mwaxanare. Queen of Chult.
Citronella. Yeah, thank you. That's actually a pretty cool name.
With that, she'll just kind of stand there and wait for you to leave, go back to your room.
Yeah, man, when she got up here, she like, is there any? I'm just gonna look around real quick. Can I figure out how she got up here? I'm assuming
make a perception check. Although it's dark up here, so it's with disadvantage. Well, you rolled a 1 anyway, so kind of a moot point.
All right. Well,
nope, no idea. Must have been magic.
Yep. I think it's that feather cape. I'm gonna, I'll take my leave and head on back down and probably stay awake for an hour, just being like, that was quite the thing to happen, and then I'll go to sleep.
As you're walking away from her, as you turn your back on her, moving away from her, you hear her voice in your head, and she says, "Remember, I will know if you betray me."
God, this is unsettling. She's like Daenerys in Chult form.
Yeah, especially since she's like 17, clearly.
Seriously, I keep getting these vibes, man. All right. Can I try to think? I try to think back at her, and I say, "Is this a two-way thing?"
I mean, she doesn't respond again. That doesn't mean it isn't.
I'm gonna take that as a maybe, and then I go back down.
I think that's where we will leave off tonight.
Okay. All right. All right. So I guess at the beginning of the next game, I'll make a note to tell everybody about this.
Actually, yeah. Sorry, you can share information with people now. That might actually be a better idea.
Yeah. Okay. So like as soon as we wake up in the morning,
yeah,
I'm gonna.
Oh, you are gonna wait till
I'm gonna break it.
Right away.
You know what? You're right. Why don't I just wake everybody up? Fuck it. I start walking into rooms and waking people up. This is kind of a big deal.
In the middle of the night, Bran kind of is knocking on your doors and like asking you all to come together in one of the rooms.
So everybody come along.
What's going on?
You look a little startled there, buddy. What happened?
You're not gonna fucking believe this. I'm not even sure I do, but well, I think it checks out. But anyway, hear me out on this. The Queen of Chult just talked to me. That's right, the Queen. You know how? Okay, wait. You know how Ashara was talking about that? You know, Nefer and his. You know, she was all vague and secretive about it. No, well, as you like. As far as I know, I think his job is protecting the Queen. It's a secret thing. It's a kind of a conspiracy sort of deal. Yeah?
You mean there's a monarchy in Chult? I thought it was ruled by the merchant princes.
Well, I don't think... I think that's how it is now, but I think the Queen, as she's calling herself, even though she doesn't have much of a... I kind of like I stop myself in mid-conversation and like think like, oh man, could she be like eavesdropping, listening? Oh man. And I just... anyway, I don't think the Queen wants it to be that way. She's interested in getting, you know, her city back. It's somewhere deep in the jungle. Something about finding a chalice. We have to find a chalice, or she wants us to find a chalice. Anyway, it was quite the thing to unload on me, and I just felt like I needed to share it. Oh, Fennec, by the way, I think she's taken a bit of a liking to you. Not sure exactly to what extent, but she wanted me to give you her regards. She says you have a strong name. I give him a bit of
Thank you.
I mean, take it for what you will. I mean, I know this all sounds very strange, but...
Fennec's still half asleep through all this also.
She wants a cup? Chalice?
Some kind of chalice. You know, it's surrounded by a horde of undead. The city, it's called Omu. And apparently Ashara doesn't think that she's ready to try to take it, but she thinks that if we get the chalice, that the princes will rally their forces and take back the city proper and allow her to sit on the throne. At least that's her idea.
That seems like a thing that a merchant prince would probably not do, but we're in a strange land, and who are we to judge?
Well, if I'm being quite honest, she seemed a bit... she's a headstrong type. Kind of an iron fist type, as you like. If I had to guess.
So what you're suggesting is that she may not be appropriate for the throne anyway.
I don't know, but she's got some magic about her, and I'm not sure exactly how far her eyes and ears extend. And well, it's a bit strange, all of it.
Why
know
did she
what?
not approach us directly?
Well, she chose to approach me, but she's asking that we, because she's aware of all of us, which is hence the eyes and ears thing. She suggests that we be the ones to do it, because she thinks that the Aarakocra are perhaps a bit overprotective of her.
I defer to the rest of the party to decide if this is an avenue that we wish to approach.
Actually, as you're looking around at them, I'm just gonna describe her physically in case anybody can verify that she's actually the queen.
Hmm. I mean,
Just
I
in
guess
case
a
somebody
history
knows
check
more.
could be made with disadvantage.
What kind of check being made?
History check to kind of confirm the physical traits of the royal family of.
Ouch. Some of those were some good rolls.
It's disadvantage because you're just getting like a description of words.
Right.
She sounds Chultan. Sounds like a Chultan human. It's possible. Fennec has heard of the monarchy. Like Fennec knows that there was a monarchy in Chult at one point. Several monarchies, probably.
At the very least, it seems that it wouldn't hurt to look into it more.
I'm not entirely sure what to make of it, but it is a bit strange that, well, I mean, she clearly has bodyguards, and clearly Ashara was being very secretive about it. But so whoever she is, it's somewhat of importance in some manner, even if she's not actually the queen. But seems like a bit of a story, a bit of an elaborate story, even if she's not. I'm not sure what to, like I said.
Sounds like a very brave and noble quest, but I would like to, as a point of order, remind everyone that we are on a time constraint.
I told her as much. I told her, we'd be trying to end the death curse, which, by the way, she thinks that her being on the throne is something that might end it. And I don't think that's really true. As much as I don't think any of you would. She's kind of singularly focused on that. But on the other hand, she might be able to lend us aid toward the quest if we end up coming across something that would require a large army.
My thoughts exactly. How quickly could she claim the sovereignty?
Should have asked. I know how to find her again. Next time I could inquire. But she seemed very confident, so I don't imagine it would take her very long.
We would have a monarch of this land in our debt. That seems helpful in our quest, our main quest.
True.
At the very least, to eliminate the possibility of running into Flaming Fist.
Well, if we get the ritual underway and we're able to fly, getting to Omu should be simple enough. But acquiring the chalice itself, well, if it's surrounded by a horde of undead, I'm not sure. We really don't know what we're dealing with here. We're kind of going in blind. We don't know what kind of magic's there. It's something that could possibly even dispel the ritual. I mean, it's not exactly a sure shot, but maybe it's a high risk, high reward type of situation, as it were.
Did she say where this place was?
South of here. Actually, well, in relation to Kirsabal, she believes she said somewhere to the southwest. It's deep in the jungle, so I'm guessing a good number of miles
Somewhere near Nangalore, where we're already heading. Or near the heart of Ubtao, which we were going to check out anyway.
Actually, JP, do you have the map? The Chulton map?
Yes. You should be able to find it as well by clicking on images and maps, but here's the link. I just added a bunch of
Thanks.
markers of places you guys have already been to it as well.
Which
What do
one
you
are
mean?
we? Oh,
I thought
we're at this.
you guys go till 10:30.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't think I have another half an hour left in me.
That's fine.
Okay.
I think we're just going to discuss what we're going to do next. Do you have a vague opinion on that?
Actually, no,
Or
not
does
in this
Balasar
particular
have an
case.
opinion? I guess.
I don't think Balasar actually. I mean, his main goal is to eliminate the death curse, and if there's even a possibility that putting this queen back on her throne would do so, he has to at least explore the avenue.
Okay, cool. So he's open to the idea, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
All right. Sorry, guys.
Feel better.
Yeah, take it easy.
All right. So you were saying map. Yes, I shared it with you. You should be able to find where you are, kind of between
Is
those circles. And
Heart of
you guys can see my
Ubtao
that's the floating Earth mode.
Okay,
Um,
the place she's talking about is not marked on the map in any way. It's just kind of like this general, like it's southwest or south
right.
of here.
It's probably in the area that you're not aware of yet. Probably.
Well, yeah, somewhere south, probably quite a ways. Probably could fly there, but after that, I don't know what to make of it. I could be undead that could skewer us down from the sky for all I know. Could have wizards among them. I really don't know what we're dealing with.
Well, we're fairly close to Nangalore. We can go and nab their flower, bring it back, gain the ability to fly, head to the heart of Ubtao, since that was our next guess of a place that looked interesting enough, right? And then from there, we continue on. If she says it's to the southwest, that's on the way.
South or southwest, but yes, good enough. Well, we'll have to come back here, obviously, after we get the flower, but
Yeah. Which side of the lake did she say it was on? South of the lake or west of the lake?
She wasn't that
South?
specific, but you would guess west of the lake.
She said south and
She
deep in the
said
jungle.
southwest, deep in the jungle.
She did say southwest. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so
southwest
into
was
the unknown territory over here, right?
Yeah.
Should have asked her about the damn Chingwa spirits.
What about them?
Well, if we help restore the rightful monarch of Chult, maybe they'll tell us where the hell we need to go to find the soulmonger.
Question for another time as well.
Well, she's around, isn't she?
Well, yes, but she's being under watch. I don't think she can just come and go as she pleases. To be honest with you, well, here, well, walk out here with me just real quick. I'm just gonna walk to the edge of walk out of the room and just like point to kind of where I met her. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see.
You can't even really see the place from here, but you can kind of see that there's like a space between like the roof and the roof of the cliff.
Right. So there's a roof up there. It's kind of this little cropping up there. It's where I met her. I don't know how she got up there, but I don't think she can just come and go as she pleases. Is my point.
That's so strange, and she trusted you with that information.
I guess we're the outsiders. I guess that was her only opportunity to speak on such terms. I think she's just being I think she's kind of a prisoner of sorts, more for her own good at least. But well, she's ambitious. And we're her ticket.
Looking to Quasha, I'll ask, hey, so what was Chult like when the monarch was on the throne?
It
Yeah,
was.
yeah. She looked. Yeah, I don't get. I don't. Yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, I was raised by humans. I probably know age differences.
That's true, but on the other hand, it's hard to grok that, you know, like someone who's like 4 times how old you are is not yet mature.
True. Yeah. Also, she spoke. She's just like, you know, she kind of
Yeah.
talked like a queen. So it's like, oh, you're like an adult, right?
Exactly.
You just, yeah. No, yeah. I guess so. I just won't even mention that she's a teenager. You guys can figure it out when you talk to her.
I like that a lot. I like that, like, Rand's talking up this queen, and then you guys are gonna meet her. It's like, dude, she's like 16. In any
An era
case,
Stormborn, man.
Kawasha will respond. I mean, it has not been so in my time.
Where did you come from? Kawasha, don't sneak up on me like that.
I've been here the whole time. Is he not one of the people you woke up? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
actually, I wasn't thinking of him, but now that you mention it, totally is appropriate for him to be there.
Not from your time, but like, what was the land more obviously more settled in
Yes.
its spiritual energy with monarch and
Yes, not to
Omu?
say it was perfect, but in those days, the balance between man and nature was kept and in harmony in this land. Great wealth was kept here instead of being exported to the north. And the dinosaurs and the other spirits of the land existed in relative harmony with the Chultans, the Chultan kingdoms. Although, in my understanding, Mesro has always been the capital.
Well, Mesra still is the capital. It's apparently in another plane of existence.
Quasha scoffs. I think that man was mad.
He was quite clearly mad. That kid has fallen to an artifact of evil. Which case, does anyone have an ability to send a message?
I can send a message via animals. It will take some time, but it is reliable.
You're a member of the Emerald Enclave. I need to get a message to the Harpers telling them where your boy is over there.
I need a specific location and a recipient who matches a general description.
I can give both of those things to you.
And then the animal can carry a message of up to 25 words.
I will get to work on that. Is it some sort of spell? Do you require anything for it?
Just a morsel of food.
Done and done.
We'll also know if it is unable to find the person that it will return to us if it is unable to deliver the message.
Sure.
And the message will be in my voice.
Duly noted.
All right, then in the morning we're leaving for Nangalore.
I think so. That's still part of the original plan, correct?
Yep, it sounds like it was our plan.
Then I will require a good night's sleep. I bid you well. Kwashi yawns and heads back inside. Weed yawns also, but it's clear that he's just pretending. So you have yet to see him sleep, as he is a plant.
He has to turn water and stored energy into sugars at night.
Sure, you've seen him sit, but not sleep. Probably Darkasset is the one who's noticed this the most.
In fact, probably yes, since he also does not really sleep.
Oh yeah, you meditate for 4 hours, don't you?
Yeah, dream of other lives.
That's oh okay. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
I didn't know that either. I learned a lot in the last
Couple of
Mordekainen's.
From
Mordekainen's.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does Kawasha subsist on photosynthesis? Is he like a plant? He water and sun.
Quash
That's all I
asleep.
need.
Weed doesn't, and weed does
Oh,
seem
my
to
bad.
photosynthesize. Yes.
Yes. Oh, my bad. Yep. Yeah. Weed
Quash is a
is.
person. He eats food.
I don't know. I just thought it was some druid thing. I stepped out for just a second, so I didn't hear.
No worries. He lives off of good berries. Only good berries. He won't share any of them with you. All right. Is there anything else anybody wants to accomplish during the night at Kirsabal, or shall we wrap up there?
Are they actual monks? Do they train?
From what you observe, yes. They have rituals and traditions in their own. Like, they're clearly moving in highly trained, organized ways, and they appear to have some, like, they do some combat practice during the day.
All right, I'll do some at some point during our stay at Kirsabal. I'll do some monastery to monastery outreach.
Oh, awesome. They're very interested. Obviously, their style is quite different than yours. Their style being designed for Aarakocra and incorporating flight as much as it does, because for some reason, the monk movement speed bonus applies to flight speed, Aarakocra flight speed.
Sure. I do unicorn style. They do crane style.
Yeah, exactly. But there's certainly a great deal that you can reveal to each other, and certainly a great deal you probably do not.
Cool.
Do you have a goal in this action other than just it is the right thing for a monk to do in a monastery? Like, is there some overarching?
We're gonna level soon, and I assume
Sweet.
I didn't know if you were like, because everybody started at level 3 except me.
Honest.
With multi-classing, so I didn't know if I needed to like train or something.
I see. Excellent. It's an excuse for your. That makes sense. If you, on that topic, if you guys want to level up now, you can. You're close enough. It's going to happen next session.
Fuck yeah!
I'll leave the server up for a little bit, but otherwise we're done. You can do it at the start of next session too. It's your choice, but
I'm good with that.
Now you can. Otherwise,
I pretty much know what I want to do.
Great. Yep. Unfortunately, I am traveling a lot in the last month or in the next month, so we will be unable to play again until the what is it? The 16th, probably. Yes, the 16th of August. I am in a place without internet next week. The week after that is Gen Con. The week after that, I am visiting my family on the East Coast, so it will be a bit, unfortunately.
So right by me, I'll be all gamed out.
Yeah, you'll be also. You are at least one of those things along with me. So.
Yep.
As is Lucas here.
Oh, yeah, I'll be at Gen Con.
Nice.
Fortunately, he's lame and will not play in our mutual event. But
I assume that's Dresden Files, and no, I will not.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Sean's running part of it this time.
It's a
good. I haven't talked about that. I'm sure it is. I just. You're
not a Dresden fan. I get it.
I am. I've seen the show. I've heard tell
the show's
of
so bad.
The show introduced me to the books.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the only thing is that like it uses the metaphysics, but none of the canonical characters.
I mean, the show is fine. It's just not a very good Dresden Files show.
From what I remember of it, yeah. and the guy that got to play him is kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, not quite.
I really like Paul Blackthorne, actually.
Yeah, I like him, but I don't like him for Harry. He's not the worst though.
Fuck yeah, deflect missiles.
deflect
All right,
missiles.
so I'm gonna end the stream there now.
Ta-ta.